Now let's move into the predictions for Leo for the month of May 2026. May arrives bringing a very strong energy of positioning, personal growth, and especially construction. This will not be a light month in the sense of standing still waiting for things to happen. It will be a month of decisions, of maturity, of responsibility, of realizing who is truly by your side, of understanding where it is worth insisting and where it is already time to let go. Leo enters May with a very strong energy of wanting major changes. You want growth, you want stability, you want to build something lasting, you want to feel that your life is moving towards something solid. But together with that, an important emotional weight also appears. A concern about someone, a sense of responsibility toward close people, family matters, health matters, matters connected to your own spirituality. And all of this moves your emotions deeply. It will also be a month where your inner strength will be extremely tested. Because there will be moments when you will need to keep your posture even while tired. Keep moving even without having all the answers. Continue even when you feel like you are carrying more than you should. But there is one very strong truth here. You are not in a phase of defeat. You are in a phase of construction. And every construction requires time, requires patience, requires structure, requires wisdom. So listen carefully, because some of these predictions may explain exactly what you have already been feeling for some time and still have not been able to put into words. Leo, your reading already begins very strongly because there is one energy that repeats itself many times, concern about another person. And here, in most cases, we are talking about someone from your family. It may be someone by blood, it may be someone by heart, but it is a person who occupies a lot of space inside your mind. You think, you observe, you analyze actions, you try to understand if this person will manage to solve their life, if they will manage to grow, if they will manage to overcome certain difficulties, if they will manage to get out of a complicated situation, and this consumes you. The mice card appears showing exactly that. Wear and tear, emotional exhaustion, silent anxiety. You worry so much about this person that you begin losing your own energy. And this needs attention, because helping is beautiful, caring is noble. Leo truly carries this energy of generosity, of wanting to lift people up, protect people, encourage people, but there is a dangerous line when concern for others begins to destroy your own balance. When you spend more time trying to save someone than taking care of your own life. When all your energy goes outward and you stay empty inside. And here, spirituality brings a very clear warning. Continue being good, but do not abandon yourself. Continue helping, but do not exhaust yourself until you get sick. Continue caring, but without turning this into an emotional prison, because sometimes you want someone to win so badly that you begin losing your own peace. And this cannot continue like this. There is a difference between supporting and carrying someone on your back. You cannot live another person's life. You can guide, you can help, you can be present, but you cannot solve everything alone. And here the month already begins asking exactly for this: emotional boundaries, learning how to separate what is your responsibility and what is not. Because if you do not do this, the exhaustion comes strongly. Now there is a second very important point, your emotional and physical health. Here appears an energy of history, as if you had gone through difficult situations connected to health. It may be something physical, it may be emotional, it may be a very heavy phase that marked you deeply. And even if today the situation is better, there is still a mark inside you. The Lily card appears showing this: the need for peace, for calming, for stopping living as if that pain was still happening right now. Because many times the problem has already passed, but the fear stayed, the insecurity stayed, the memory stayed, and that affects the way you live. You begin questioning life more, your mission, your purpose, your time, your spirituality. You ask yourself, why did I need to go through this? What was this trying to teach me? What was the meaning of this pain? And here the answer does not come as a logical explanation. It comes as reconstruction. Spirituality shows that now it is a new phase. What happened, happened. But from now on, the story can be different. You can improve. You can become stronger. You can recover your confidence. You can begin believing in yourself again. But this requires one decision. Stop living emotionally trapped in the past, because sometimes the pain has already left, but you continue living inside it. And May comes exactly to break that. It is a month of reconstruction, of healing, of rising again, not ignoring what happened, but without allowing it to continue controlling your life, because your story does not end in the difficult moment, it continues after it. And that is exactly where your true strength begins. Now we enter a very deep area of your reading, spirituality. And here something interesting appears because many of you have gone through an important change in the way you see faith, religion, and beliefs. It is as if at some moment in life, you gave yourself more intensely to a religion, to a doctrine, to a person considered a spiritual reference, and then something changed. Maybe a disappointment, maybe frustration. Maybe a broken expectation. Maybe you realized that certain answers were not outside, but inside. The Tower card appears exactly with this energy: isolation, reflection, and spiritual maturity. You begin to understand that your connection with God, with your spirituality, and with your inner truth does not depend completely on leaders, temples, or external validation. You begin searching for answers more inside yourself. And this does not mean losing faith. It means maturing. It means stopping outsourcing your spirituality, stopping placing your truth in other people's hands, and beginning to understand, I also need to listen to my own soul. This happens very strongly in May. You begin looking at certain beliefs in a different way. What once seemed absolute now gains context. What once you defended blindly, now you observe with more calm. And this is growth. It is not coldness, it is not distance, it is evolution. There is also a specific situation appearing. Something you wanted very much in the past, even as a spiritual request, no longer makes sense today. Before, you asked for it, insisted on it, manifested it. Today, you look at it and think, no, this is no longer part of what I truly want. And this is also important, because spiritual maturity is also knowing how to let go of old requests. Not everything you wanted before still makes sense now. And that is not failure, it is alignment. You changed, your soul matured, your vision changed. And that is positive. Now there is another point that returns strongly. A person who continues occupying your mind because of financial matters. Once again, someone close appears, usually family, bringing concern. It may be someone with difficulties. Someone trying to organize themselves. Someone you look at and think, I hope this person manages to solve things. You feel it almost as if it were your own situation too. And here, the bouquet card brings good news, relief. This situation tends to improve. There is an energy of solution, of good news, of breathing room. Something happens that takes this weight off your shoulders. Maybe it is not a perfect immediate solution, but it is already enough to bring peace. You will feel, now it became lighter. Now I can breathe better. And this will be important, because this kind of silent concern wears you down more than people realize. You carry a lot without speaking. A lot stays inside. A lot of emotional responsibility is invisible to everyone, but it weighs, and May begins to relieve that. Now spirituality also brings an important warning: energetic strengthening. The Bear card appears here very strongly, and it speaks about protection, strength, and also spiritual cleansing. There is something that needs to be observed: your energetic sensitivity. You notice environments. You notice presences. You notice when something is not right. You notice when an energy does not belong to you. And for some of you, this becomes even stronger. Strange sensations, unexplainable heaviness, presences that seem close, places that completely change your vibration. And here the warning is not fear. It is prayer. It is strengthening. It is protection. In the spiritual world, there are good energies and also disorganized energies. Not everything you feel needs to be treated with panic, but it needs to be treated with awareness. If you feel something strange, pray. Visualize, surrender it. Do not feed fear, feed strength, because clean energy pushes away what does not belong. Spirituality does not want you living afraid. It wants you living strengthened. The more aligned you are, the less space there is for what does not serve. And May asks for exactly that. Less fear, more spiritual presence. Less desperation, more awareness. Less external dependence and more inner strength, because your protection begins first inside you. Now we enter the 4 most important dates of your month, the 4 destinies, the 4 moments where certain energies become stronger inside your prediction. And the first period, between May 1st and May 11th, reinforces exactly what has already appeared since the beginning. You worrying deeply about someone here, this energy returns very clearly. There is a person with more fragile health, someone who awakens in you a very strong sense of protection. You feel the desire to be closer, to help, to follow closely, to show solidarity, to do something, even if it is only sending good energy, prayers, or being emotionally present. The heart card appears showing this. Your help makes a difference. Your presence matters. Your emotional support truly strengthens this person. And that is not small. Sometimes you think helping means solving everything, and not always. Sometimes helping is simply not letting someone feel alone. It is being there, it is listening, it is showing care, and that already changes a lot. But here, spirituality reinforces once again, help without destroying yourself. Because there is a very strong tendency in you to absorb too much of other people's suffering, as if the pain of the other person starts living inside you too. And that wears you down. So here the advice is presence with limits, love with balance, empathy without self-destruction. You can be support without becoming the weight. Now, between May 12th and May 18th, the energy enters strongly into your career. And here there is something very beautiful, vocation. You begin to feel more clearly what truly makes sense for you. What matches your essence? What is not only obligation, but also purpose. The Clover card appears bringing luck and opportunities, but mainly perception. You begin to understand better. It is here. This is what makes sense. This is what I need to develop more. It may be work, it may be a professional change, it may be a course, a new skill, a specialization, or even something that has always been inside you and now asks for space. For older people, this appears even outside traditional work. It may be learning something new. Singing, cooking, crochet, crafts, gardening, any skill that awakens pleasure and a sense of purpose. Because vocation is not only profession. Vocation is also what makes your soul breathe better. And May brings this very strongly. You will feel a calling. Something pulling you, something telling you, go this way, and it is worth listening. Because when the soul recognizes a path, it insists. Now, between May 19th and May 25th, an energy appears focused on studies and future opportunities, especially for those seeking college courses, exams, specializations, or any intellectual advancement. Here there is a feeling of delay. You observe opportunities, you analyze paths, but it seems things are still not moving at the speed you would like. This can create frustration. The feeling of, why has this not happened yet? Why is it still standing still? Why does it feel so far away? But the ship card appears bringing an important answer: change. The situation does not stay as it is. It moves, it transforms. There is evolution, maybe not immediately, maybe not within the timing of anxiety, but it exists. So here spirituality asks for patience. Do not treat delay as denial. Sometimes it is only preparation. Not every closed door is a no. Sometimes it is only a not yet, and that changes everything. Because when you understand that, you do not give up too early. And May wants exactly that, persistence. Not abandoning a path just because it took longer than you expected. Because some important achievements do not arrive fast. They arrive right, and that is worth much more. Now we enter the last period of the 4 main dates, between May 26th and the beginning of June. And here, a very pleasant energy appears. Movement, outings, change of plans, and lightness. There is a desire to go out, to breathe, to change the environment, to do something different. Many of you will first think about something bigger, a long trip, a distant place, something more grand, but then you realize that maybe the best choice is closer. A nearby city, a new restaurant, a different outing, a shopping mall, a meeting, a simple place, but one that brings exactly what you needed, mental rest. The Moon card appears here bringing this feeling of pleasure, beauty, and well-being. It is as if you realize, I do not need to go so far to feel better. Sometimes peace is closer than we imagine. And this will be very important because you come from a very heavy period, very worried, very demanded, very overloaded. And this small change of environment brings enormous relief. So do not underestimate small moments. Sometimes a simple outing changes your energy more than big plans that never leave paper. Now we need to talk about health. because health was one of the strongest themes of your entire reading. And here something very specific appears: accumulated tiredness. It is not only sleep, it is that kind of tiredness that seems not to go away. You sleep and still feel tired. You rest and your body still feels heavy, as if your energy never fully returns. And this needs attention. The Scythe card appears, showing that cutting will be necessary. Change, adjustment, healthy radicalism. You will need to observe what is draining your energy. It may be poor sleep, it may be too much work, it may be food, it may be too much worry, it may be someone who drains you emotionally, it may be a disorganized routine, but something needs to be cut. Because continuing the same way is no longer sustainable. Here, spirituality is not speaking about a major scare. It does not appear as something serious for most people, but it appears as a very clear warning. You need to change habits. Maybe sleep more. Maybe slow down. Maybe stop insisting on environments and people that only exhaust you. Maybe seek more silence, more peace, more pauses, and even simple things: a calming tea, more water, more rest, less excess. Of course, when necessary, always with professional guidance. But spiritually speaking, the message is you need to treat yourself better because your body is asking for it. And ignoring small signs today usually becomes bigger signs later. Now, speaking about financial life, a very positive energy appears. Someone important enters as support, but not necessarily someone who will simply give you money. It is someone who helps you use your money better, who improves your experience, who shows you value. It may be an invitation, advice, an opportunity, something that makes you feel this was a good investment. The Heart card appears bringing pleasure and satisfaction. It may even be something simple: a special lunch, an important purchase, a renovation, a change in the house, something connected to your possessions, your comfort, or your well-being. And this brings gratitude. You look at it and feel it was worth it. Here also appear improvements connected to your home: decoration, renovation, changes, organization, something that makes your environment more beautiful, more comfortable, and more aligned with your energy. And that impacts your emotions a lot, because when the environment improves, the mind responds too. Now at work, there is a very clear energy: rewarded waiting. For those looking for a new job, positions, or opportunities, there is indeed good energy, but it comes together with waiting. It does not seem like something instant. There is process, interviews, tests, delay, bureaucracy, that feeling of why has this not moved yet? But the Fish card appears bringing prosperity. It confirms it will happen, maybe not exactly in the timing you want, but it happens. Between May and June, there is a very good energy for professional progress. So here the spiritual message is: do not lose motivation, do not quit in the middle, do not stop because it took time, because the door exists. You just have not reached it yet. And that makes all the difference. Now, for those who already work, the energy speaks of something very Leo-like: ambition. You look at your life and think, I can do more, I want more, I need to grow more. And that is not ingratitude, it is vision. You want to build something big. The Tree card appears showing exactly that. You do not want something small. You want something solid, lasting, strong, something that remains. But here there is an important lesson. The tree takes time to grow. It is not born big. It grows with time, with roots, with consistency. And this is your great lesson in May: respecting the timing of things, because you put a lot of energy, a lot of effort, a lot of intensity, and sometimes you want immediate speed. But not everything responds in the timing of your urgency. Some things need to mature. And that does not mean failure. It means process. You have everything to grow, everything to prosper, everything to achieve. But spirituality asks, do not confuse delay with absence of destiny. The path is happening, even when it feels slow. Now we enter your love life. And here there is a very interesting energy, because love for you does not appear weak. Quite the opposite. It appears strong, present, alive, but it also appears slow, as if there were feeling, desire, connection, yet everything happens in its own time. And this applies both to those already in a relationship and to those who are single. Let's begin by talking about an ex, because that question always exists. If there is someone from the past still occupying space inside your heart, or if you feel there is still something unresolved between you, the answer is clear. This person likes you and likes you a lot, thinks about you, remembers you. There is real feeling, but this person prefers not to show it. They do not throw themselves easily into it. They do not expose themselves. They do not say everything clearly. The ship card appears showing exactly this. Slow movement. The feeling exists, but action takes time. It is a person who is emotionally slower, more prideful, more blocked. They would even like you to show some sign. Not necessarily a direct message, but signs. Small movements, small openings, because they observe, they think, but they have enormous difficulty taking the initiative. So here spirituality asks for calm. Do not confuse silence with lack of feeling. Not every absence of action means absence of love. Sometimes it means fear, pride, insecurity, lack of courage. This person thinks about you a lot, but they still do not know how to turn that into concrete action. With time, this tends to change because there comes a moment when even someone running from feelings gets tired of running. But right now, there is still slowness. Now, looking at your love life as a whole, there is a very strong energy of reconstruction. And this is not only in love, it is in your entire life. But love feels it directly. You are rebuilding yourself from the inside out. Many things shook you. For some, it was health, for others, work. For others, emotional losses, disappointments, frustrations. But there is a restoration happening. The garden card appears bringing exactly that. Lightness, pleasure, the return of joy. You begin to believe again, not only in love, but in living good things again. You begin leaving that heavy state, that feeling of only surviving, and you allow yourself to feel again. That changes everything, because love does not bloom where everything is in ruins. First comes reconstruction, then comes blooming, and May places you exactly in that process. Now there is something very strong in your energy, presence. You transmit strength, even when you are tired, even when you are hurt, even when life has shaken you. You keep your posture, you keep your image, you keep your dignity. The bear card appears here very strongly, and it speaks exactly about that. Presence, magnetism, emotional authority. You do not go unnoticed. People observe you, admire you, respect you, you create impact. And this reflects directly in love. Whoever is with you feels this. Whoever looks at you notices this. There is real admiration, especially for those already in a relationship. The loved one sees you as someone strong, someone important, someone grand. There is desire, there is chemistry, there is attraction. Even with difficulties, even with hard phases, this admiration remains. And that is very valuable, because true attraction is not born only from appearance. It is born from the strength someone transmits. And you transmit that. Now, for those who are single, the same energy applies. You attract much more than you imagine. There are people watching you, admiring your posture, your way, your confidence, your presence. You move people. But here there is one issue. You are not in a phase of throwing yourself easily into love. You are more selective, more aware of your value, more attentive to what you deserve. You do not want just anything. You want something that truly makes sense. And this makes some people feel that you are difficult to access. Not because you are cold, but because you know your worth. You do not give your time in just any way. You do not open your energy to just anyone. And that is maturity, not arrogance. Now, inside the relationship, and or even for those opening themselves to someone new, an important point appears. The person feels the lack of more of your time, more presence, more participation, more involvement. It may be going out more, talking more, showing more, being more available, because there is love, there is admiration, but there is also the feeling that you give too much to work, responsibilities, and worries, and less time to affection. And this needs balance, because sometimes you are so focused on building the future that you forget to live the present. And love needs presence, not only intention. Here, spirituality asks for balance. Neither too much surrender nor too much distance. Balance. Now the tarot closes your reading with two powerful cards, Temperance and the Lovers. And this confirms everything. Temperance speaks of time, of calm, of slow processes, of not rushing destiny. You are not in a phase of hurry. You are in a phase of conscious construction. And the Lovers speak of real connection. Love exists. Chemistry exists. Choice exists. You are not without love. You are simply in your own rhythm, in your own time, in your own value. And that may be your greatest strength this month. Because love is not missing. What exists is selectivity, maturity, awareness. You know what you want. You know what you deserve. And when someone like that decides to love, they do not love halfway. They love for real. And May ends exactly like this. Not as a month of need, but as a month of personal power inside love. And that is worth much more.